All right, here's another lesson about learning, different types of learning that we've been talking about. The next type of learning that we're talking about is called auditory learning. And this assignment, it's going to be a 2-day assignment because it will take you a while to create the Google document. So I've made it for a 2-day lesson for students. And I want to tell you a little bit about auditory learners. So auditory learners learn best when they say what they are learning out loud. Like, for example, reading a paragraph out loud instead of reading it to yourself. That's what an audio learner would prefer. Another thing, they prefer watching YouTube videos, like learning how to do things on YouTube videos. One of my favorite shows to watch is called How It's Made, and they do have some of those on YouTube also. And you can learn from things like that. Another thing is listening and talking through ideas, like small groups. Audio learners prefer either two or more classmates in a group, and that way they can bounce ideas off of each other, and they learn better from listening to other people, putting their input into their ideas. They also learn better with written instructions. For example, a recipe is a perfect thing for an auditory learner to use because it's organized. It lists, all the ingredients on the top. It has things like, number one, you do this, number two, you do that. And that's something that an audio learner prefers. The instructions should be in order for them, like logical order, like A, you do this, B, you do this, C, you do this. That's especially for an auditory learner. Auditory learners are great at explaining things and telling stories. So, like after watching a movie, they're very good at explaining all about the movie, the details, because they've heard it, they've watched it, they've used some of the other learning aspects. So, also a story. If they're reading a story, they're going to visualize it after they hear it. Also, auditory learner should read one paragraph at a time out loud, and then they should be able to say or summarize that paragraph. And maybe in your reading class, your language arts classes, you've heard things like that before. That helps them learn more. Um, Another thing you are going to do with this, so your first step is going to be to create a Google document after you've watched the videos that go with this. And then you're going to come up with a lesson that you will, and this is going to be a little bit harder than the other Google searches that you found. I put on there hint Google search, and this is what I searched: activities for audio learners, and then click on images and then go through several images to see if you can find what you're looking for. That was how I found mine. And there was one thing, it was actually a movie that I'd watched a long time ago, Here Comes the Boom. And I attached the movie clip to my Canvas page so you can watch it. It's about a minute long. But anyway, to kind of summarize that movie clip, the girl who's in choir, she comes up with a way for a guy who's trying to get his American citizenship. She comes up with a way for him to remember what he can't remember, and it's not easy for him. So she starts singing a song that's one of his favorite songs, and she starts putting all the information that he needs to memorize into the song, and he starts remembering it. So I've attached that clip here too. And I just found it on YouTube. If you can't get it, just Google search Here Comes the Boom. And I think it's a teaching or learning clip, and it should pop up for you. But anyway, so you need to create the lesson as something that would be helpful for a student who is an auditory learner. And like I said, there's several ideas that you're going to find on the internet for that. Use the stuff I've talked to you about already in this movie clip, and you should be able to get a pretty good grade on this. Once you're finished, you're going to submit this on my Canvas page, the Google slideshow. And remember, when you're finished with the learning, you should be able to say, I can use several different learning tools to learn and study. This is an Indiana standard that I was hoping we could get to this year to help you become better learners. So hopefully this lesson helps you with that, and I'll talk to you later.